Hey everybody, it's Jason Creel and you're watching The Lawn Care Life. Today I want to share with you some goals, some suggested goals for the 2021 season or whatever season you're watching this video. Today's video is sponsored by Graham Spray Equipment. Appreciate them sponsoring the channel. If you're looking for a spray tank like the one I use on the back of my spray truck, then go to grahamse.com. A link will be in the description. Now here's some recommended goals for 2021. Maybe you've got your own goals. Maybe you can add to my list, but for some of you, these are some good suggestions to get you started with that process on how to improve your business. Let's do it right now. Goal number one that I'm going to recommend is to improve on your best neighborhood. Now, you may think, why would I do that? It's already a great neighborhood. You know, maybe I should try to improve on my worst neighborhood. Well, I could say that too. That could also be a goal, or maybe just get rid of your worst neighborhood. But oftentimes, there's a reason your best neighborhood is your best neighborhood. And if you've already got a lot of customers in a particular neighborhood, that's probably the best neighborhood for you to continue to grow. And not only that, it's your most route dense neighborhood, possibly. And if you continue to add more customers, it's only going to continue to improve your route density and make that neighborhood more and more profitable for your business. So I think oftentimes, I know in my business, I've kind of spread too thin sometimes, and you get some customers that are a little bit further out, and you're not able to get enough in that area to make it worth their while driving out there. And I think sometimes we'd be better off if we focused on a smaller target area. I mean, it depends on what your long-term business goals are, but if you're not trying to grow a big business, then focus on less neighborhoods and really try to saturate those neighborhoods. So that goal number one, try to improve on your best neighborhood. And just practically speaking, how can you do that? Well, oftentimes just being present in the neighborhood helps. Using yard signs helps. Oftentimes if I'm out spraying yards on a Saturday, same would be true for mowing probably, and especially in the springtime, sometimes the neighbors come out and they say, hey, we're looking for somebody for our yard too. So maybe possibly working on a Saturday during the busy season, but also just some direct mail, whether a handwritten postcard to a neighbor and saying, hey, you know, we're already taking care of your neighbor's property. We'd love to take care of yours. Let us know if we can give you a free quote. All right, number two, and we alluded to it already, is clean up your worst route. So if you've got that neighborhood, and what makes your worst route? Well, oftentimes it's you drive out there out of the way to go do 1 or 2 yards, and it's really not worth it, especially if you're paying people to ride in the truck with you. So how do you clean it up? Well, you've either got to sort of make a business decision, say, hey, I believe there's enough homes out there that I can get more customers, and so you focus on trying to grow that and make it worth your while. Or you say, well, I can't get any more customers, but I'm gonna have to charge this price to make it worth my while, so you have to increase your price. That's one option, or the second option. Or a third option would be just to drop the customer in a polite way. There's a way to do that and not hopefully minimize the damage of the relationship there, but you maybe possibly recommend them to someone else who you know already has a stronger presence in that area, who would be happy to add that customer on, and just explain the situation to them, and oftentimes the customer will understand. The number 3 tip I'm going to recommend for you is find something, and this may be hard for you, but find something to delegate. Okay, I'm not saying you got to sit home all day and let everybody run your business for you. But I think all of us, even if you're very hands-on, and I tend to be, and even if you kind of micromanage sometimes, and I can do that as well, you can probably find something that you can delegate, okay? Now, what is that going to be? I don't know exactly. I don't know possibly, again, what your long-term business goals are if you're looking to grow a business with multiple trucks, or if you just want it to stay small. And if you're solo, I mean, possibly what you're delegating is your bookkeeping, your year-end taxes. I mean, something like that. Possibly you can get some help doing some of the invoicing, or you can at least pay money to take a load off of you. So maybe it's using a better software that allows you to email more invoices and put it on credit card. You know, and some people just seem like they're stuck a little bit in the dark ages, doing things the most manual, time-consuming way possible. And so, you know, even for those that are solo, you can probably think of ways to become more efficient. But if you have employees and you have someone who you can delegate to, then start figuring out how you can empower that person, how you can train them, and then let go some. Just, hey, and it doesn't mean if you let go that you got to start going and doing something else in the business. It may just let go to cut your hours down to a more manageable number of hours. I know that was kind of the case for me. I tried to delegate some things just so I didn't have to work as much. I wasn't sitting home, but I just, you know, you got to have a work-life balance here. But for you may need to find somebody to train them. And I think about this long term. You know, am I going to be able to do the physical labor for the next 30 years? Well, probably not. Or even if I can, I don't know if I'd want to. So think of how I can grow and start delegating some responsibilities to others. Number 4 goal I'm going to recommend to you is to cut down on your late payers. Now, this is something I've improved on a lot lately. I think some of us think about people and you think, well, they were late this time and they were late the time after that. You know, what I've found in my business is typically the same customers over and over and over again who are late. And it becomes more mentally frustrating to me, or psychologically frustrating, than it is like the actual inconvenience of not having that money on time. I mean, that's a burden too, but where it begins to bother my business is if I'm going to a particular neighborhood to provide service in that neighborhood and I haven't received payment from the previous time I was there, so I've got to skip that person only to collect payment later to then have to go back and make a special trip just to do that 1 yard for that late payer. That's a problem. That's starting to bother my efficiency and my cash flow, and I don't like that, okay? Now, it doesn't mean if somebody's been a customer for 12 years for you, never missed a payment, and they're 1 day late, that you hand them over to a collection agency. I'm not saying that. You got to have some reasonableness about you. But if you have a customer that's constantly late, it doesn't even mean you have to fire them. I mean, you can't, but you can just simply say, hey, you know what, from now on, we're gonna have to require the payment up front. And if they don't want to do it, then it's fine. You move on, or you put a credit card on file and you charge it before you start the service. So you can do some of those things and just you stay in control of your business, because the more you let the customers take control, the more frustrating it is for you as a business owner, and the less efficient you are, and ultimately the less profitable you are, and ultimately the more time you have to dedicate to this customer who's causing you problems, the worse service you're able to provide to the other customers. So it's really taken away from your overall business, and I think it needs to be something that you can address this year. Number 5, on the topic of efficiency and getting better, upgrade one piece of equipment. Now maybe you can upgrade more, but I tell you, I can't think of the times when I was mowing lawns and I had that mower or whatever piece of equipment here, string trimmer, and I was thinking, maybe I can get 1 more year out of it. And then what happens? It goes down, it costs you time from being down, you gotta pay for the repairs, you're putting money into a piece of equipment that's not worth what the repair costs. I mean, it's just a problem, you know. So, but you think about it, if I had this piece of equipment, and I don't know what that is for your business, it would make me more efficient and ultimately make me more money in my business. And so why don't we do that? Why? I understand if your budget's tight or you're getting started, you can't always go out and buy just the nicest equipment. But I think we need to ultimately have our prices to the point that we can be profitable, so we can upgrade our equipment and ultimately become more efficient, more profitable, and keep our equipment upgraded. You know, you see the companies that are doing well, they seem like they just continually have nice equipment and it's not breaking down all the time. And the ones that are struggling, they can't afford the newer equipment. And it's more a reflection on the business overall than it is the equipment. You know, so that's something. Maybe the issue here is not the actual equipment, but your business and how can you improve your profit ratios there so that you can upgrade your equipment. Number 6, I guess this sort of sums it up, and we alluded to it, but just be more profitable. I tell you what, if you can upgrade your equipment and end the year with more profit, that's probably a good year. Now, some years you may actually take a hit on profit because you decided to go out and upgrade a bunch of stuff, or you bought a new work truck, or you brought somebody on as an employee that might short-term affect your profits, but long-term can help you out. But I tell you what, sometimes you might have the same setup as last year and everything's pretty much the same. And if you made less money than you did the year before, what's going on? I don't understand. You know, are we not, do you need to increase your prices? Do you need to become more efficient? Do you need to improve your route density? You know, need to hire somebody to take the load off you? But I mean, I think this is something we can have realistic, practical goals. If you did your year-end taxes and you say, okay, what were my profits for this year? And I'm gonna set a goal to increase that by 5%. Now, 5% may be a lot for some of you, you know, in a big business, you know, huge ones, 1% is great, you know, but if you can do 5% and say, I'm gonna try to make 5% more, and maybe that means cutting expenses somehow, working a little bit smarter, or maybe going up on your rates 5%, or maybe, you know, like I said, building a tighter route that you can do 5% more yards without actually working any more hours. So there's a lot of things you can do to do that, but I think it's smart to have some goals, some realistic goals, to review those goals often and to keep you motivated. I'm Jason Krell, appreciate you watching the video. If you're in the lawn care business or you're looking to start a lawn care business, you can go over to lawncarelife.com. There's a lot of video courses over there. We sell logos, we sell documents, letters, whether you're mowing, whether you're doing weed control and fertilization. We got a lot of training available at lawncarelife.com, so check those out. And I encourage you, if you like the video, subscribe to the channel. There's over 500 lawn care videos on the channel. Click the thumbs up and let me hear from you in the comments. Talk to you guys later. Bye.